Hi, everyone. We're back once again with another episode of the gang stalkers and hackers that have been actively hacking my phone and gang stalking me. In this episode, we break down the technology that they use and how they use it and how to locate it on your phone. Now, mind you, I've done all the main things as far as do a factory reset, look for different apps, look on the iOS for running programs that don't look familiar. But whatever they're using, they could have gotten on the dark web and used some type of stalkerware, as they call it, to hide and run in the background. So I'm still investigating it. And like I said before, you guys will be the first to know when I break the news that they're called. But sit back and listen to this episode. And please like, share, and comment. Thanks.
You ever get that feeling, that little prickle on your neck, like someone's watching, even when you're, totally alone?
Uh-huh.
In this world saturated with tech, it's not just paranoia anymore, is it? It's a real worry for a lot of people.
Definitely.
So today we're diving deep into some pretty unsettling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at the tech and methods reportedly used in what gets called gang stalking.
Right.
We want to explore how these alleged tools actually work for the people using them and, really importantly, how you might spot them and maybe protect yourself.
And just to be clear up front, this isn't about validating all the stories out there.
No, absolutely not. It's about the tech itself, as described in solid sources. Let's unpack this.
Exactly. And it's important, I think, to acknowledge that term, gang stalking, is often sensitive, it's controversial. But what's really fascinating, as you look through the material, cybersecurity reports, law enforcement data, academic studies, is this kind of common thread. Technology. Sophisticated technology being, weaponized. So our mission today is to stick to the facts from these sources, the technical details, the psychological angles they mentioned.
Just the facts on the tech and how it's reportedly used, neutral stance.
Precisely. Understanding the mechanics of it all.
Okay, mechanics. Let's start with the physical stuff. Covert surveillance tech. Hidden cameras, hidden microphones. These aren't like old spy movie gadgets, right?
Far from it, no. The sources, FTC reports, even The Guardian, they talk about how incredibly tiny and easy to hide these things are now.
Really small.
Yeah, miniature cameras, mics, often built right into completely ordinary household items, almost impossible to spot just by looking.
Okay, so where might someone actually hide one of these things for, like constant surveillance?
Well, think about things that are always plugged in. USB chargers are a big one. Power strips, extension cords. They can draw power right from the wall.
Convenient for them.
Very. And then there are things like smoke detectors, up on the ceiling, wall sockets, even things like decorative clocks or picture frames.
Wow, and the point is just constant watching and listening.
Pretty much. 24/7 audio, video surveillance.
Yeah.
Allowing someone to remotely monitor everything you say, everything you do. Your private space becomes their live feed.
That's incredibly invasive. Just chilling. But it apparently goes beyond just seeing and hearing, right? The sources mention something even weirder, like infrasound, ultrasonic weapons.
Yeah, this is where it gets particularly insidious, according to some reports. Kuroga Ariel's research, for example, talks about subwoofers.
Like for a home stereo?
Similar tech, yeah, but hidden, maybe mounted inside walls or ceilings. And they allegedly emit these really low-frequency vibrations. We're talking 5 to 20 hertz.
So low you can't hear it.
Exactly. You don't hear it with your ears. You feel it, like a physical vibration through your body.
Okay, so you can't just ignore it. What kind of effect does that reportedly have on someone, especially if it's targeted?
Well, the reported effects are both physical and psychological. Things like nausea, disorientation, just a general sense of unease, and critically, sleep disruption.
Ah.
Yeah, the reports often mention these things being activated specifically when the target tries to sleep. So it turns their own bedroom, their sanctuary, into a source of torment.
Making them feel sick or unwell in their own home without knowing why.
Precisely. It's a very stealthy kind of harassment, designed to be hard to pin down, but really debilitating.
And the tech doesn't even have to be inside the house, does it? I read about tools that can penetrate walls, see or hear through barriers.
Right, this takes it up another notch. Laser microphones, for instance.
How do those work?
They don't need to be inside. They shoot a laser beam, usually invisible, at a window or maybe even a solid wall from outside.
Okay.
The vibrations inside the room, like from people talking, cause tiny, tiny vibrations on that surface. The laser reflects off it, and those minute changes in the reflection can be picked up and converted back into sound.
Wow, so they can listen through a window from afar. Is that actually feasible?
Well, an NCBI study actually validated the basic principle. It's a complex, but the physics works. And beyond sound, there's thermal sensing too.
Like heat vision.
Kind of tracking movement through walls by detecting body heat. It basically gives someone a real-time heat map of where you are inside a building. Like X-ray vision, but for heat.
Making privacy feel almost obsolete.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift from the physical to the digital realm because our phones, our computers, they seem like obvious targets too, right?
Absolutely prime targets. And probably the most common and insidious tools described in the sources are Stalkerware apps.
Right, things like MSpy, FlexSPY, those names pop up. How do they get onto someone's phone or PC?
Two main ways, typically. Either someone gets physical access to your device, even briefly, and installs it directly.
Okay.
Or maybe more commonly now, through phishing. You click a dodgy link in an email or a text message, maybe something disguised as an update or a notification.
And boom, it's installed without you realizing.
Exactly. And once it's on there, the capabilities are, well, extensive. Remote activation of the microphone, the camera,
Yeah.
basically turning your own phone into a bug.
Listening and watching anytime.
Real-time GPS tracking, logging everywhere you go, and maybe the scariest part, keystroke logging.
Capturing everything you type.
Everything. Passwords, messages, bank details, private notes, everything.
And how do they hide? You wouldn't just see an app called Stalkerware, presumably.
No. They're often disguised.
Yeah.
They might show up in your device settings labeled as something really bland and technical like system service or device update, something you'd ignore.
So it just blends in. Yeah, that's a really disturbing level of access.
It is. It's not just about data. It's about compromising your entire digital life, potentially.
And it's not only apps on the device, right? There are ways to intercept communications over the network itself.
Definitely. Network exploits are another big area. You've got devices like Wi-Fi pineapples.
Sounds harmless.
Doesn't it? But they're actually fake Wi-Fi hotspots. Your phone thinks it's connecting to a legitimate network, like at a coffee shop, but it connects to the pineapple instead.
And then
whoever controls the pineapple can intercept all your internet traffic going through it. The Guardian's reported on these.
Okay, what else?
Then there are IMSI catchers. These act like fake cell phone towers. Your phone connects to them, thinking it's a real tower, and they can grab your calls, your texts. An FTC report mentioned these in relation to Stalkerware investigations.
So they mimic cell towers. Wow.
Yeah. And then there's just vulnerabilities in your home router, potentially allowing what's called an man-in-the-middle attack.
Where they get between you and the website or person you're talking to.
Exactly. They secretly intercept and relay the communication, listening in on everything without either side knowing, like an invisible eavesdropper on the line.
So even if your device itself is clean, the network could be compromised. But sometimes it's simpler, right? Just physically tampering with hardware.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes low-tech is just as effective. Juice jacking, for example.
That's using public USB charging ports.
Right. You plug your phone in thinking you're just getting power, but the port has been compromised to install malware onto your device.
Yikes. Okay, make a note. Use your own charger and wall plug.
Good policy.
Yeah.
Or even simpler, hardware keyloggers. These are tiny physical devices. Someone could plug one between your keyboard and your computer or directly into a USB port.
And it just records keystrokes.
Every single key pressed, before the data even gets to the computer sometimes, it shows vulnerabilities aren't just digital. Physical access, even for a moment, can be enough.
It's just staggering how all these different bits of tech cameras, sound weapons, stalkerware, and network tricks can apparently be combined. The sources talk about how these tools are integrated into, coordinated campaigns designed not just to surveil, but to cause real psychological distress. There's mention of shift systems.
Yes, that concept suggests an organized effort. Different people possibly taking turns monitoring the target.
So it's relentless.
It creates that feeling of always being watched, never having a moment's peace, which is obviously a huge part of the psychological impact, that feeling of no escape.
And that leads into something really nasty. Tech-aided gaslighting. Using tech specifically to make someone doubt their own reality.
Yeah, the reports describe some really cruel tactics here, like playing recorded threats or strange noises through hidden Bluetooth speakers in someone's home.
Making them think they're hearing things, or that someone got inside.
Exactly. Or manipulating smart home devices. Imagine your smart lights flickering randomly, or the heating turning on and off by itself. Things that seem paranormal, or like the house is malfunctioning.
But it's actually being controlled remotely to mess with your head.
Precisely. to make you question your sanity, your perception. Can you trust your own senses? Can you trust your own home?
And then there's location leaking.
Right. Taking that GPS data, maybe from Stalkerware, and sharing it with others, maybe via encrypted apps, so accomplices can then show up wherever the victim goes.
Just coincidentally bumping into them everywhere.
Reinforcing that feeling of being constantly followed, watched, with nowhere being truly safe. It's this combination of the surveillance plus the active psychological manipulation that seems so damaging.
Okay, this definitely raises a huge question for anyone listening, especially if you have these kinds of concerns. What can you actually do? How can you detect this stuff and protect yourself? Let's get practical, based on the sources.
Absolutely. Okay, so for hidden cameras and mics, what are the signs? Well, maybe unexplained battery drain on nearby devices if they're being used as power sources, or seeing strange, unfamiliar devices listed on your home Wi-Fi network scan.
Things you don't recognize connecting to your internet.
Exactly. Protection-wise, you can get RF detectors. These devices scan for radio frequencies that hidden bugs might be emitting.
Like a bug sweeper.
Kinda, yeah. And just doing regular, thorough physical sweeps yourself.
Yeah.
Look closely at everything, especially new objects or things that seem slightly out of place in chargers, smoke detectors, clocks.
Be observant in your own space. Okay, what about stalkerware on phones? Signs.
Key signs are often the phone overheating a lot, even when you're not really using it heavily, and unusual spikes in your data usage. These apps run in the background and can chew through resources and data.
Makes sense. And protection.
If you really suspect something, a factory reset is often recommended. But, and this is crucial, back up your important data first, because the reset wipes everything.
Right.
And regularly run scans with a good mobile security app, a reputable one. Don't just ignore warnings or unfamiliar processes running. Check them out.
Good advice. Okay, network hacks. Protecting your Wi-Fi and internet connection.
Signs there could be things like your internet being consistently slower than it should be, or getting unexpected password reset emails for online accounts that might mean someone's trying to break in. Protection. Definitely use a VPN, a virtual private network, especially when you're on public Wi-Fi. It encrypts your traffic, making it much harder to intercept.
Okay, VPNs are important.
Very. And at home, consider using MAC address filtering on your router. It's like setting up a VIP list for your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Only devices whose unique MAC address you've specifically allowed can connect.
So even if someone gets your password, their device isn't on the list.
Exactly. It adds another layer of security. These are all practical steps you can take to make things harder for potential intruders.
Okay, we've covered a lot of disturbing technology and how it's allegedly used, but it feels really important now to circle back to the psychological side that the sources stress so much. What's the bigger picture from law enforcement or cybersecurity experts?
Yeah, this is key. Sources like the Sheridan and James studies note that law enforcement often finds that concrete evidence for gang stalking claims is, well, mostly anecdotal.
Right. Hard proof is elusive.
It often is. And cybersecurity experts consistently emphasize that the psychological manipulation aspect is often the core of these campaigns. It's not always about super high-tech tools. Sometimes it's more about exploiting fear and making someone feel vulnerable.
Using the idea of the tech as much as the tech itself.
In some ways, yes. Dr. Lorraine Sheridan put it very starkly in her work. She said, basically, that these crimes weaponize both tech and psychology. But the greatest damage often comes from making victims doubt their own reality.
That really hits home. The tech enables the psychological attack.
It highlights that dual nature, doesn't it? And perhaps the ultimate awful goal of it all.
So let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you listening? Today, we've dug into the kinds of tech reportedly used in these situations: tiny cameras, infrasound, stalkerware, network tricks. And crucially, we've looked at how you might detect them and steps you can take to protect your physical and digital spaces based on our sources.
The aim was really to illuminate the mechanisms involved.
Yeah.
How this stuff allegedly works.
Giving you knowledge to be more aware, more prepared.
And just to really underline that main point from the sources again, yes, the technology described is real, it exists, it's invasive, but the element consistently highlighted as most damaging is the psychological manipulation. This deep dive focused on understanding the how and what of the tech described in the sources.
Right. And if you feel you are being targeted by these kinds of methods, the advice from the sources is pretty clear. Document everything: dates, times, what happened.
Sure.
Contact the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, that's ic3.gov, and consider seeking help from professional digital forensics experts. They can sometimes find evidence others miss.
Those are concrete steps you can take.
Definitely.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with, thinking about Dr. Sheridan's point about doubting reality.
Yeah.
In this age we live in, with tech getting smaller, more powerful, more hidden, and now with AI getting so good at creating fakes, how do we even draw the line?
Between what's real and what might be manipulated.
Exactly. In our homes, online, everywhere. How do we stay critical and discerning about our environments, our own digital lives? It's a huge question, really. It goes beyond just the tech itself.
Something to definitely keep thinking about.